Hey guys, welcome to a YouTube channel. Today we'll be solving this problem of maximum element of HackerRank. As you can see, it is there in the data structures and stacks. So this is a problem of stack. What's the problem statement? You have an empty sequence and you will be given n queries. Each query is one of these three types. What are these? The number one is push the element x into the stack. Okay, the query type and then the element to be pushed. The second one is delete the element present at the top of the stack. The third is print the maximum element in the stack. Do note that the maximum element will be anywhere in the stack. Okay, so you need to find out the maximum element. So what is the input for the first line of the input contains an integer n, and the next n lines each contains an above mentioned query. And one more thing to note about it is guaranteed that each query is valid. What do you mean by valid query? So there cannot be a query like delete the element present at the top of the stack when the stack is empty. Okay, or for example, let's say print the element at the maximum element in the stack when there is no element in the stack. There cannot be any queries as such. Okay, so the constraints are like the number of queries can be 10 to the power 5. Okay, and each element can be x that is there in the stacks can be in between 1 and 10 to the power 9. Okay, and there are three types of queries. Okay, what do we have to output for each type 3 query? That is the print the maximum element of the stack. We have to print the maximum element in the stack on a new line. Okay, so here's the sample input. Let's start coding. So before anything, what we have to do is we have to create a stack. Okay, stack of what do we create a stack of? So if we simply create a stack with only one type of element, that is the element to be kept integer type, or let's say a long type, how would we find the maximum element? Basically we have to traverse all the whole stack to find the maximum element. Okay, and by default the data structure that is there in the standard library does not provide to iterate over a stack. Okay, so what is the other way for this problem? The other way could be why not maintain another stack which keeps the maximum element at the present time. Okay, in that way whenever we are asked to print the maximum element, we can directly print from that stack. Okay, so with this idea we will move forward. Instead of two stacks, what we will do is we will create one stack only with the first element as the integer itself and then second element as the maximum of the stack in the current situation. Okay, so stack of will create a pair of long longs. Let's type define long type def long ll. Okay, now we will create a pair of longs. Okay, a stack stk. Okay, and for the number of queries we will create an integer. Okay, and yeah, so let's say we have to take the number of queries. Okay, that we'll call it as nq. Okay, now while there are queries left, minus, so what are the possible cases? So the first case could be there is a push type of query, or number two the delete query, or third the print query. So these are 1, 2 and 3. Okay, as it can be observed, 1, 2 and 3 is the print query. Okay, so for each query we will take whether the query type qtype. Okay, and if the query type is 1, we have to take another input. If q type equal to 1, then we have to input the element also. Okay, so we did not define this query type and x, so we defined it now. Okay, if the query type is 1, what do we have to do? We have to push in the stack, okay, that element. So to push the stack, stk dot push. Now as we can notice here, we are creating a stack with the first element as the element itself and the second element as the maximum, right? So we have to create one more variable, cmax is equal to, we'll initialize it with int minimum. Why this will work is because we will not be having any invalid queries, right? So we'll have to push this element itself and the maximum. What will be the maximum? Maximum will be the max of current max comma x, right? So whichever element is maximum between current max and x, will push that element, and then we'll have to make the current max as equal to so instead of doing this 2 times, what we'll do is we'll make current max is equal to max of x comma cmax, okay, and we'll push cmax here, okay. So this will contain the x and the current max in the queue, stack. So if it is a type of query type 2, query type equal to 2, then what do we have to do? We have to simply pop the stack, okay. So stk dot pop, and one more thing we have to do. What do we have to do? We have to change the current max, which will be equal to the max in the current stack. So cmax is equal to stk dot top, which will give you the current element, right, at the top of the stack, and we have to find the get the second element of it, which holds the maximum, right? Else it will be a type of query type 3. We have to print the current max, right? Current max we can print here with a new line, okay. So notice that whenever we are pushing, we are changing the current max, or whenever we are popping, after popping we are changing the current max. So the cmax variable always holds the current maximum in the stack, right? So let's and there is one more thing to check. So if the stack is empty and we if the stack is empty, then what do we do? The current max will be equal to cmax will be equal to int of minimum, okay. Else cmax will be equal to the top element in the stack, because once we pop the element, it can be a possibility that the stack is empty. In that case, we should be running this part of the statement, that is making the cmax as int minimum, right? Else we will make this cmax as the top element that is there in the stack equal to the second part, which is the maximum element. Let's try to run. Okay, what's the error? no matching function. Okay, here I have missed one very basic thing. Here we have to, since we are inserting a pair, we have to use this make pair function to insert here. Okay, and this will be long, sorry, typo there. Okay, what is the other? I think no more errors. Else without previous if. Okay, here I missed the else if. So the sample test case has passed. Let's try to submit the code and see. So as you see, all the test cases have passed. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you do like the video, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.